Hey everyone, how you doing? It's my second live in 2 days. What's going on? No, I just had a um bit of an empty slot, just working through some things and having a think ahead. I love to always think ahead. I love to plan. And then when I see the plan formulate in front of me, well, it's not formulating in front of me because I'm obviously formulating it, so I'm having to do the work. But when you see, start to make sense, you can start to go, right, this is how I'll approach it, this is what I'll do, and how I'll announce it, and things like that. It's such a wonderful feeling. It's like when you think of, I'm going to make a sandwich or I'm going to make a meal, and then you go and drop everything into the bowl and you mix it, and you're like, "Oh, it's working. Right, it's got to double check my comments are over here at the moment. Am I live? I had this problem yesterday. I went live and then I realized I actually was not live. I'd gone into private. So I just got to double check, am I actually live? Yes, we're live. Excellent, cool. Right. Today's topic. Hey Donnell, how are you doing? Happy Thursday to you too, my friend. Today's topic, I think, is going to annoy a lot of people. By the way, I hope you don't mind. I've just left the door open, moved the curtain aside, slightly adjusted my layout so that I get, how shall I explain it? You can see more of the desk. I've always been a fan of YouTube videos where you can see a little bit of the desk, and I often have the camera come starting roughly here. You see a bit more higher up, and the camera is a little bit more inward. I've moved the camera a little bit more back just so we get a bit more depth, and I feel like it helps to ground me a little bit. Anyway, what I wanted to talk to you about was something. In fact, I'll wait for a few more people to turn up. By the way, Donald, um, I don't think I've ever really asked you about like what's your level of expertise or what do you kind of work on in terms of web design? Are you a designer, developer working with clients, or are you just working on your own website? Hey Toby, how you doing? Hope you're all right, my friend. Um, Today's topic is definitely going to, I think, cause a bit of conflict. I'm talking about page builders, and this topic is going to drive a wedge between many, many people. And that's not my intention, but it is because I want a lot of people to just start to consider what I'm going to say. Because I saw some posts and some Twitter posts and some stuff last week. I saw another one yesterday, and then I saw another thing today. And normally when I see things that make me go, "Oh, come on, why are we going back? Why are we rechurning the same wheel again?" I don't like to always get involved. But sometimes I feel like I just want to clear the air with everyone and put across my view. And I really feel like my way of explaining it should hit home. So Donald, you're a complete bluffer. A complete bluffer. Complete bluffer. What does that even mean? I have a small company that builds, manages websites for clients. This is what Donald is saying, and a few marketing agencies as their website guy. Hey, look, if it works, all right, what you got to look at is, let's be honest here, right? I worked in the NHS, corporate world. They used to hire a lot of project managers, and all these people did was come in, open an Excel spreadsheet, say, here's all the tasks, here's who's doing it, here's the due date. And then every week they would go round each team and go, right, so based on this week, you should have been here. Where are you now? Oh, that's been delayed. Okay, do we need to adjust the dates? Okay, let's adjust the dates. Da-da-da-da-da-da. The following week, okay, we are now here on the Gantt chart. Is that now done? Yes, it's done. When was it delivered? Are people happy? This task is not done. What are the codependencies? Now adjust the date. And that's literally what they did. Project managers, you're paying, I'm not joking here, 30, 40,000 pounds a year, full timers, and all they do is go round with a spreadsheet. And when I say they were the most clueless Excel people I've ever worked with, some of them would come over to me and go, Imran, I've got these cells and I need to draw a border around the cell. And I'd be like, yeah, it's up there in the menu bar. Oh, where? I go, there, that grid, click the grid. Oh, right, okay. But if I want the line to be below When I click this, it gives me the lines everywhere. Yeah, that's because you pick the lines everywhere. Pick the one with the line underneath. Oh, it's not very clear, is it? Fuck's sake. I tell you what, I've worked with some real fucking dumbasses, right? But some of the people they employ in the NHS, in the back end management admin side, are clueless when it comes to Excel. Oh, how do I make the border of this cell bigger? Format the cell. Yeah, I went into that and I clicked it and it disappeared. Yeah, because you clicked the one that gets rid of it. Click the other line. Yeah, but it's not bold enough. Yeah, now make it bolder. Oh, it's too bold. Yeah, pick the line you want. Hey, George. Good to see you, my friend. Not chatted to you for a while. Hope you're doing okay in Cyprus. Hope everything's going really well. Toby says, with page builders, we've gone full circle. Ah, well, I'm going to come back onto that. I'm going to come back onto the whole page builder debate and about what people use and why we use it. So I'm just waiting for a few more people to turn up. Sometimes Thursdays can be a bit of a quiet day, really. I mean, things are going pretty well here down my... By the way, the sunlight's gone really bright now, hasn't it? Is that way too bright now, the sun? I need to get like a diffuser net curtain up there, I think. But I've just opened it up just to let the air in because my cats are continuously going in and out at the moment. And by the way, that is like a fake... Let me get my finger right. That's a fake Pepsi bottle there, okay? I got that from Etsy. There's nothing in it. It's just a fake bottle. I got it from Etsy, and when I look at what they did, all it is just like a black canister with a Pepsi Max sticker. I paid £13. No, 16 when you include a delivery. £16 for a black canister with a Pepsi Max sticker. I got ripped off, but it worked. I like it. So, hey ho. Donald's been building websites since 2015-16, so nearly 10 years. Usually build with Divi. Now, I did mention this yesterday. Okay, why do I like to use Elementor over bricks or other builders? It's mainly due to that. Like I said, I could drop dead. Me and my client could go separate ways. They could easily find another client to help them out as well. So that's why I still like to stick to Elementor. Hey, Pancho. And George, Divi is our friend. How are you finding the new Divi 5, George, at the moment? I've not looked into it. You know, I was never massive into Divi, but how have you found it? George says his most common Excel troubleshoot question is, how can I call cell height? Why doesn't it work? Oh, my goodness. Do you know what? When I used to see some people... Oh, my God, here's a funny story, right? Okay, here's a funny story, okay? I was working with a team, and they used to go around and count how many operating theatres and rooms each floor of a hospital had. Hospitals are so fucking stupid that if you go to them and say, how many rooms have you got? How many operating theatres have you got? How many whatevers you've got? They don't know. They're like, oh, we don't know. They don't really know jack, right? So there was this team that were going around, and I wanted to know the numbers because I was doing demand management and capacity planning for Leicestershire, right? And they would come back to me, right? Listen to this. They would come back to me with sheets and sheets of paper. And I'd be like, okay, this is interesting. And on their paper, right, they would... No. They'd have sheets of paper printed out. And I would say, okay, you've printed out a table. Can you just open the spreadsheet? And they go, yeah, sure. They'd open their laptop, right? And they'd load up the spreadsheet. But guess what? It wasn't Excel. They load up Word. And on Word, they've inserted a normal Word table, right? It's not even an Excel table. It's just a column and rows table. And they've popped the numbers in. And I looked at it and I went and I sat there and I stared at one row. And they said, what's wrong? And I said, hold on. And I stared at it and I said to them, I've just added it up. Your total is wrong. I remembered this story. Your total is wrong. And they went, oh, yeah, because, oh, sorry. I did it on a calculator. And my brain literally exploded. I was like, you've got like a table. It had like 10 rows. And they've added it up on a calculator and then added the value back in on Word. And they got that wrong. And I said, why didn't you just use Excel? Because it would have summed it up for you. Oh, we don't use Excel. So they had people going around collecting info who were manually putting it down onto Word and then sat there with a calculator adding it up. And we're talking about 2011. We're talking about 2011, right? Okay, back to some of the comments coming on. Oh, sorry, just read what Toby said there. Yep, Elementor, Etch. Yeah, I'm going to come on to all of that, actually. Greg moved from Elementor to Breakdance a couple of years ago, never looked back. I think the trouble with Breakdance, Greg, yeah, is that if Louis from Breakdance and all of his marketeers just, like, were more professional rather than slagging off other page builders, because they've done it to Elementor, they've done it to Bricks, they started doing it to Divi as well. It's like every time, I guarantee you, this time next year, you'll have Breakdance doing videos about Etch. Oh, Etch was meant to be the new thing, but Breakdance is breaking them down. You watch, and I don't like the way they do that. Moi, me, why upset? It's great when people use words in the calculator. Oh man, no way. I mean, the fact they couldn't even add it up properly, right? The way they couldn't add it up. Right. I'm now going to talk about this whole thing about page builders. So let me try and clarify this, okay? And stick with me on this, okay? We have this debate that never ends, always on goes. What page builder are you using? Why are you using that page builder? Why are you not using something else? Or maybe you've decided you're going to, and by the way, this is not a criticism of anyone, all right? So please don't start taking sound bites out of this. Some people say, oh, you're only using Elementor because of whatever. You're only using Bricks because of Paul Charlton before. You're only using Etch because Kevin Geary's behind it. You're only using Breakdance because you hate Elementor and Bricks and you like Louis or Oxygen or whatever like that. You're only using another product because a content creator, me, or an influencer or someone has said this is the best thing to use. And that debate doesn't just stop with page builders. It goes on and on with, like, you're only using this theme because Ferdy told you to. You're only using this vibe coding tool because Reno told you to. You're only using this 3D tool because Wiki Design told you to. You're only using Divi because George told you to. And there's this ongoing debate about what page builder are you using, right? And why. Now, George has hit the nail on the head, right? The page builder makes no difference. It is the person building and using it. And I want to bring everything full circle, okay? And please listen to this, okay? How many of you were around? How many of you existed in 1990? I'm going to stop there for a moment. How many of you were alive and were over the age of, let's say you were over the age of 8 years old in 1990? Or how old were you in 1990? How old were you in 1990? In 1990, I was 11 years old. Okay? 1990, I was 11 years old. How old were you in 1990? In fact, I'm going to be really specific. I would have been 12 at the time. The story I'm about to tell you. I'm talking about October, November 1990. So after the Italia World Cup, right, Nessun Dorma, all of that, right? You know, that happened in the summertime. Gascoigne crying his eyes out. October, November 1990. How old were you? I was 12 years old. Greg was 22. Chris was 21. Donal was 20. We're all, well, I'm younger than you, but, we were there. Jonathan Church, just Jono, sorry, not Jonathan Church. Jono was 8. All right. Gary from Visual Media was 28. Pancho was 29. I'm loving this. Smash the like button. Okay, right. Okay. Right. So, 1990. What were the two big things that happened around October, November 1990? You're not going to get this. What were the two big things that happened around about that time? And it happened slightly before, but I think it really hit home around that time, 1990. What were the two big things? Right? What were the two big things? Right. I'm going to tell you the first big thing, okay? The first big thing is that we had a #1 single in the UK by a band. I can't remember their name. Colour Me Bad, I think. It was Colour Me Bad. And the song was I'm Gonna Sex You Up, right? I'm Gonna Sex You Up. And that was probably the first time where you had to watch Top of the Pops or the Top 40. And you had to sit there with your mum and dad in the room and the #1 song blaring on the radio was I Wanna Sex You Up. And it was a bit like, oh God, oh dear, oh, don't know where to look. The shame, the shame, right? That was the first thing, right? It was like, oh my God, because even back then, right? You know, if you said sex, it was like, oh dear, can't say that word. Careful. That's a rude word. You know, carry on. Oh my goodness, right? 1990, Colour Me Bad. Round about that time. It might even been December, but anyway, round about that time, Colour Me Bad, right? I Wanna Sex You Up, okay? And that was #1 in many places. And it felt like such a big thing when they did that. The second big thing, it's not the Berlin Wall, it's not the first web page and all of that, okay? The second big thing. Are you ready? Tell me you're ready, and I'll tell you. No, sexual healing, Donal. Yeah, but sexual healing was a big thing as well back in the 80s or late 70s, whatever. But I Wanna Sex You Up. That's like a very, sexual healing's like, sexual healing, but I Wanna Sex You Up. And it's like #1 single kind of, it was like, whoa, hold on. This is going deep. Get all those images in your head now. This is going deep. Right, George is ready. Hey, Phil. So, the second big thing, towards the end, Old Fat Trucker, I was running BBS then, learning about everyone making a big deal about internet, blah, blah, blah. Black Sabbath, right, okay. Late 1990, the second big thing, you're going to be surprised by this, okay? Nike Air Max. Yeah, Prince. Well, yeah, but Prince. Yeah, but even then, you see, like even Prince's songs, they were not what I call mainstream, right? They were not the sort of thing that everyone would be singing, if you get what I mean. But Colour Me Bad, I Wanna Sex You Up, it suddenly became a song that youngsters, as well as elders use. But the second big thing I was talking about was Nike Air Max. How many of you guessed that? And I bet you didn't. And there's a reason I'm going on here, right, with this. Nike Air Max. What came very not long after Nike Air Max came out? And remember, I'm talking about page builders, influencers, content creators, and what we use and all that. What came, and it's still Nike Air, but what came not long after Nike Air Max came out? What followed? What followed? And it's still big now, but what followed? What followed? Nike Air Max. And it's still related to Nike. But what followed? What came on? Come on, everyone. If you were there, you'll know what I'm talking about. What came on? What came? Oh, I love this. It's like a quiz show, isn't it? What came? I'll tell you what came. Nike Air Jordan. Now. Nike Air Jordan. Okay? How many people went crazy for Nike Air Jordans? Yep, Air Jordans. How many people went crazy for Nike Air Jordans? Lots of people. How many people actually even knew who Michael Jordan was? And be honest here. I'm going to be honest here. I didn't know who Michael Jordan was. I wasn't a basketball fan. I don't think a lot of people outside of America, especially in the UK, knew who Michael Jordan was. But all of a sudden, because it had Michael Jordan's name on it, and the whole logo. You remember the logo? Or was it like that? Or something, I don't know, right? The whole Michael Jordan, right? Okay. Ooh. I think I burst my fly then, not really. But how many people knew who Michael Jordan was? Yeah, Reebok pumps, airs. No, they were Reebok pump, not Reebok air. Or was it Reebok hexagon? No, it was Reebok pump, and you pumped it. They kind of came out. I think Reebok Pump followed Nike Air. Or am I wrong? I might be wrong. Right, anyway. How many people knew who Michael Jordan was? Now, if you were in America, you probably did. But outside, not really. But it became a household name, didn't it? Oh, I need to get Nike Air Jordans. All because of an influencer. Now, Michael Jordan was not an influencer like the YouTube things we see now or social media, but it was a figure that promoted. And we've always had celebrities and figures that promote stuff. You know, later on in life, George Foreman and his air fryer, he didn't invent that. He just put his name to it, right? It's like when you see like celebrities and their name is on a product. They didn't invent it. They've just been paid to help commercialize the product. Anyway, you got Michael Jordan and people started buying it all because of a name, right? And the point I'm making here, have you ever in your life, and I want you to be brutally honest, if you have, please say why and explain why. Have you ever in your life, okay, not just 1990, before 1990 and after 1990 and all the way to today, when you see someone wearing Nike, Reebok, Dunlop, Adidas, you know, I can't think of names now. Fila was a big thing in 1990. You know, when Fila burst on the scene. Have you ever stopped someone and go, why are you wearing Fila? Why are you wearing Nike Air Jordan? Oh, you're doing it because of Michael Jordan. Why have you got a George Foreman grilling? No, George Foreman fat grilling machine, whatever it's called. Why have you got that? Oh, because of George Foreman. Why? Have you ever done that? When you see someone driving a car, no. Yeah, car. No, I know, great one. Renault Clio. Are you driving a Renault Clio because Thierry Henry was in the adverts 20 years ago, whatever? Is that why you're driving a Renault Clio? Oh, are you driving an Aston Martin because you saw Daniel Craig in it in James Bond? Have you ever done that? Have you? Are you wearing that perfume because it's endorsed by David Beckham? You don't, do you? You don't give a shit. You don't care what shoes someone's wearing, what clothes they're wearing, whether those clothes are advertised by a company or a business or a person. You don't care. And you shouldn't care because they can wear and eat and drink what they want. I am not drinking this because of her. I don't actually like her. I think she's a bit of a bully. You may disagree. Whenever I've watched a match, I think she's far too aggressive. I don't like her. I didn't buy the Pepsi Max for her. I bought the Pepsi Max for me. For me. Some people use Wix, not because... I can't think of any names now. Not because a celebrity endorsed it. It might help to get noticed. Get it in your eye line. But they're going to do it because they want to do it. You do what you want to do. Right? Yeah, exactly. You're made aware of it. You're made aware of it. But you didn't buy it just because a celebrity had it. Do you get my point? You would have hopefully, okay, look, there are going to be some people who go out and buy, like, Take That. I did not like the first version of Take That. Take That now, their songs are pretty good, but, like, in the early 90s, as soon as Take That put out a song, people bought it before they'd even heard it. You know, it was like blind, they just bought whatever they want. Anyway, let me just get onto something here. Hold on, Toby. I'm getting there, right? I'm getting there. Some people are now saying that some people will use Elementor because someone told them to. Some people will use Divi because someone told them to. Some people will use Etch because Kevin told them to. Some people will use Bricks because Paul told them to. Some people will use Breakdance because someone told them to. Quite frankly, Why do people give a fucking shit whether you did or you did not? That's the point I'm making. That's the point I'm making. If I decide to drink this because I want to, that's my problem. If I decide to drink this because it was advertised by Arnold Schwarzenegger and I like Arnold Schwarzenegger and I go and buy it and drink it, that's my problem. If I go and buy it because it was on a shop as a discount and there was an offer and I bought and drunk it, that's my problem. Whether I am influenced or not, whether I decide to use Elementor or not, whether you decide to use Etch or not, whether you decide to use Divi or not, whether you decide to get married or not, whether you decide to walk around naked or not, is your problem, not anyone else's. And I think there's too many people who, oh my goodness, why are you still using Elementor? Oh my goodness, why are you using Etch? Why does it bother you? Why does it bother everyone? And what I see is they're using the fact that people have choice and options to throw shit. Oh, what will I complain about today? Oh yeah, I know what I'm going to complain about today. I noticed that someone said use Etch. So you know what? I saw an advert for Etch and now people are saying use Etch. So you know what? I think everyone who uses Etch is a fucking moron. No, they're not. If they choose to use Etch, let them use Etch. I got nothing against Kevin. I got nothing against Etch. If people want to use Wix, go and use Wix. If people want to use GoDaddy, go and use GoDaddy. Go use what you want. Don't care. You may regret some of the decisions you make, because if you use GoDaddy, you're going to get into a world of pain with their tech department. You may regret it, but then you now make the choice. So if I buy Pepsi Max, my choice. If it tastes like shit, I can now choose to either stop drinking, keep drinking, go and complain, or change my mind and never buy it again, or go and buy more. My choice. Because when other people, because here's the contradiction, right? And now this is where it will all should make sense, right? Let's say this is Elementor, and I decide to use Elementor, and you all tell me, why are you using Elementor for? What's your fucking problem? And then I stop using Elementor. Well, I stopped using it because you told me to stop using it. You told me don't use Etch. You told me don't use Divi. You told me don't use GoDaddy. So you want me. So now you want to control my choice. Can you see the ludicrousy in that? We're literally saying, yeah, why are you using that? Why are you using that? What about this? What about that? Who are you? Sorry, by the way, I don't mean any of you, all right? I'm not directing this at you. This is like a philosophical, we're all in a black hole calculated algorithm. There is no life. There is no God. This is a multiverse. And right now it's probably sat at the bottom of someone's anus kind of discussion, right? Who are they to tell us what to do? They can't. They can't. Sorry, I've missed out all the comments. Let me just quickly double check. So Toby says a ton of people will leave bricks and go with Etch. If they do, that's fine. That's fine. But who cares, Toby? So let's say some people go with Etch, but they don't understand HTML and CSS. They will then realize that, and then they can go back. Do you know what I mean? Right? I use an iPhone as a webcam. I could go and get a Sony EV10 Mark II. I've been thinking about it. When I get it, I might not understand all of the settings. Doesn't mean I'm stupid. Just means I don't get it. I then make a choice. Do I continue with it? Do I watch more videos? Do I learn? Or do I go back to my iPhone webcam with the Reincubate Camo app? So if you do make a decision to change and use something, you will then realize, well, do I want to continue? It's again goes back to the Pepsi Max. Loads of Coca-Cola, right? Coca-Cola. And then I decided I want to cut back on sugar. And then a friend, in fact, do you know the story behind why I went on to Pepsi Max? Do you know the story? 2012, right? I'm drinking like 4 or 5 cans of Coca-Cola, full sugar, right? 33, 35 grams of sugar per can, right? I'm drinking 4, 5, 6 cans a day, right? Doctor then, I was like 12 stone, right? Doctor goes, you're borderline diabetic, right? Your blood sugar's like through the fucking roof, right? You got to do something about it, okay? And I was like, okay, I got to cut back on Coke. I went on to Coke Zero. The taste was like here and there. And then opposite me sat someone, right? And he used to come to work with an 8-pack of Pepsi Max. Every day, he came with an 8-pack of Pepsi Max and he put it in the fridge at work. And I was like, you're drinking a lot of Pepsi Max, mate. You got to be careful. He was like, no, it's 0 sugar. And he gave me a can to drink. And I liked it. And I stuck with it. If I didn't like it, I would have changed. So if people decide to use Etch and you don't understand HTML and CSS, you make a decision. Do you continue? Do you go back to bricks? Do you go to something else? It is not anyone's fucking problem what they do. If the person who goes to Etch works for you and then they fuck up and that affects delivery of projects and clients are unhappy, then it's your problem. But unless they are associated with you, it doesn't matter, Toby. You got to think out the box, right? You got to think out the box, right? I see people driving cars that I don't like the look of or whatever, but that doesn't mean I have a right to go up to them and go, knock, 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 wind the window down or hit the button. Why are you driving this car? The miles per gallon is shit. It's churning out too much carbon monoxide, dioxide, whatever. You know, it doesn't go fast enough. Let them make that choice and that decision. You know? So like Toby says, if I'm no longer using CrocodBlock, it draws a lot of attention. But so what, Toby? So what? That does not mean you are tied to CrocodBlock for life. I used to do a lot of Elemental. And then I started doing a bit of bricks. And I did quite a lot of bricks. Then I went back to Elemental. People questioned it. And I was like, I'll do what I want to do. So if you decided... I mean, I know you do a lot of CrocodBlock. And you're very good at it as well. You're really good at it. But if you decided that you found something else... You should not go, I've got to keep doing CrocodBlock because that's what people expect. No, shift, pivot. Because what if next week, right, WordPress no longer exists? WordPress no longer exists, right? And you now have to go use something else. You would go and use something else. And you would probably start creating videos on something else. It's like AI, right? It's like AI, okay? Loads of people, when ChatGPT first came out, did videos on ChatGPT. Then Claude came out, they did videos on Claude. Then Grok 3 came out, they did videos on Grok 3. You shift, you pivot, you move, you go with the times. I nearly drank that the wrong way then. That would have been really disgustingly bad if I had. So what I'm saying, yeah, is that there's too much what I call bullshit drama. That's what it is. BSD. Bullshit drama. Okay? What page builder are you using? Why are you using that page builder? Oh my God, look at all of these people jumping ship. Oh, look at these people that are now going to go use bricks or Edge. Oh, look at these people that are so fucking dumb they still use Elemental. All of these silly conversations. I always say, right, you know what? It's drama for no reason, just to get a like. That's how I see it. A lot of people that are creating this drama and conversation, it's pointless. They're just doing it to create drama for no reason. It's literally no reason whatsoever. Because I mean, look, I might say to people, look, if you're, I don't recommend you using this plugin. Oh, is it, are you sure? My sound, I think, is okay. From what I can tell, my sound is okay. So, have you got the right bit rate, John? Not bit rate, resolution. Is the sound okay, everyone? Please let me know if the sound is not good. So what I'm saying is, you are right, Toby, though. The influence is creators is big. But so what? That's the thing, though. So what? So what? It doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. I always say, yeah, that if people are going, if I say that don't use these plugins, use this code snippet or this plugin instead, and people follow me, well, I never forced them. Right? I never forced them. Right? I'm not Jesus. I didn't force you to do anything, right? I didn't say you got to do this or do that. I didn't do that. You made that decision. But if you made that because I said do this and then you followed me, well, if you then realize Imran was talking shit, he said don't use these plugins and use this code snippet, and his code snippet was fucking useless, you now make the decision, do you continue or do you change? And that's all you got to do. We have choice, right? We have choice. So I just think that people out there that are making a big deal, right, over what page builder are you using today and what page, I mean, I don't care. I mean, I'm one of those people where, like, I don't like GoDaddy. I don't like Bluehost. I have personally had too many issues with them. But if I ever find out that someone is using GoDaddy and they're okay with it, fine. You want to use Hostinger? Fine. You want to use one-on-one? Fine. You know, if you want to use, I don't like to use Elementor add-ons. I like to use Elementor Pro, a code snippet, and work within the realms of what I got. I don't like to use add-ons. But if someone wants to use add-ons because it's easier, then fine. You know, I've worked on clients' websites and they've got loads of add-ons. And I've said to them, you could get rid of them. They go, no, I don't want to rebuild stuff. And I go, fine, okay, fine. But please understand that when I'm looking at the performance of your website, there's only so much I can do because you've got stuff on there that will affect the performance. So that limitation, I can't do anything about, okay? You make clear where you stand or whatever, but I respect what people have. It's like Subway, right? When I get a Subway, which I don't really do anymore, when I used to, okay, I would get double chicken tikka, double cheese, and then once it was heated up, I would say I want mayonnaise and jalapenos. I don't want lettuce. I don't want tomato. I don't want peppers. Jalapeno peppers, yeah, or jalapeno. Jalapeno peppers, right? I don't want the normal peppers, you know? I don't want any crusted onion. I don't want any radish or relish or whatever shit they put on there. I don't want none of that. I want that. And then someone else next door to me will be like, I want everything. Am I going to turn around and go, you can't taste the chicken now? When you bite, your mouth will be full of wet fluid. Because when you bite, all of the lettuce and everything and the onion, everything's going to merge into like a big wet. Your mouth will look like someone just spunked in your mouth. It's going to, right? That's what it's going to look like. You spit or swallow, do what you want, okay? But your mouth is going to be full of these like juices and everything. I don't care. And if they've been influenced by Britney Spears, whenever she goes to Subway, has everything put on it. And they want to follow her now. I don't think Britney Spears would go to Subway and have everything on it. Get that image out your head, right? But let's say they went and did that. That's up to them. And if they don't like it, they can either change their mind or just continue doing it. Whatever. It's up to them. Whatever. And that's the point I'm making. So I'm very passionate about this because this topic has always happened, right? It's always been going on for such a long time. You know, we had Elemental versus Divi. Then we had like Oxygen and all of that. Then we had the whole bricks drama. Then breakdance came along and just started shitting on everyone with their marketing. Now, you know, then we have Gutenberg and all of that. Then we have, we'll have it with a Fluent Cart. Is Fluent Cart better than Surecart, better than WooCommerce? Right? If Paul starts to promote Fluent Cart and I start to promote Fluent Cart, does that mean you'll stop using WooCommerce? If Adam continues to promote Surecart, of course he will because it's part of his company, does that mean you stop using WooCommerce? Or do you make the choice? So Toby says, I think your analysis was we no longer wear clothes because popular people promote them. In the case of page, but doesn't apply. What? No, I don't think I said that. I've got to read it again, what you're saying. Toby, you're missing the point. You're completely missing the point, okay? People do sometimes follow what celebrities wear. But they can still make a choice. It doesn't mean every day they'll copy that celebrity. They'll mix and match. I'm going to tell you now, right? Okay. Kevin Geary's creating Etch, and some people are going over to it. Is that because they like the features that Etch has got? Or is it all because of Kevin Geary? What do you think? Are people just using breakdance because of Louis? Because of his relationship with Oxygen? In fact, you would have thought that less people would go to breakdance because of what happened with Oxygen. Influencers are big. Influencers are big. But people can still choose. And if they realize that what someone told me was not right, you can change. Because what you're implying, Toby, and other people, is that everyone out there is fucking stupid. And I don't think people are. There will be a minority that will follow blindly what others say. But I think more people can make their own minds up. Clark, back on Pepsi Max, 8 cans of sugar substitute cannot be good for you. Well, it's a weird one, this, right? It's a weird one because obviously you got aspartame and all of that. So either way, Pepsi Max is not going to be good for you. But I'd rather have this than... I mean, the greatest argument I always saw was, right, my father-in-law would always say, why are you drinking that for? And he would sit there with his tropical orange drink. And I kept telling him, your tropical orange drink, right, has got more sugar in it, or it's the equivalent sugar in it of a normal can of Coke. So you think by me drinking Coke is unhealthy, but you're actually consuming more sugar. And guess what? He's ended up diabetic, as have other members of his family. And I'm sorry to say, yeah, it is all down to the amount of orange, tropical orange and whatever shit they used to drink. I don't think it is, Toby. I mean, I tell you what, Toby, go and reach out. I challenge you, Toby. I challenge you and the other people out there that are putting out mixed messages, right? Because they are, and you know who I'm talking about, okay? Because they're very good at whinging. You gotta do this and you gotta do that. Right? They whinge all the fucking time, right? But I guarantee you, right? I challenge you to go and ask people that have signed up to Etch, have you, I mean, a lot of people would have signed up initially because of Kevin, but they've got a choice now. Now that they can see what Etch does, because there are videos and Kevin has done promos and stuff, are they going to continue with Etch because of Kevin or because of what they see? Because unless you've got evidence, you cannot say what people... Well, not you. I don't mean you, by the way, Toby. I'm not attacking you, all right? Nothing against you, right? But people can't say, you can't do that. Where's the evidence? Where's the facts? There is no fact. It's more of a fucked. It's a fucked, assumption. Where's the fact? How many people use Elementor or stay with Elementor because I do videos? I don't think it's all down to me. How many people used bricks all because of Paul? There would have been influence. That is true. But if you stuck with bricks, that's not down to Paul or Dave Foy or Jeffrey or me or anyone or even Kevin. So I would say, no, but Toby, again, Toby, what you're doing right is you're latching onto like, right, this is what I believe, right? This is what I believe. There is no like 1 and 0. There is no gray area. There is no a change of opinion. Yes, a lot of people signed up for Etch. A lot of people did, right? And that is just like, you're missing the point here. If Arnold Schwarzenegger has said, drink this, and I go and buy it, that is exactly the same as the 1,500 people. People signed up for Etch after Kevin did his promo webinar, and they signed up. I went and bought this because Arnold Schwarzenegger told me to go and buy Pepsi Max. It's brilliant. It tastes lovely, right? Beyonce, everyone, they said, oh, go and drink this. So I went and drank it, right? I went and got it, okay? After I've tasted it, I stuck with it. So how many of your 1,500... How many of those... No, but Toby, you can keep saying it, Toby, as much as you want. Influencers are way bigger than you portray. That I know that. But what you're now saying is that people are not clever enough to change their mind. So what you're saying is... So what you're basically saying is, right, is if Kevin Geary then says, right, pull your pants down and shit on your face, everyone would do that. If Kevin now said, don't use Etch, everyone would stop using Etch. Well, in a way, though, if he because he's developing it, if he does that, then I kind of see why people would do that. Kevin, if you ever get to see this, it's nothing against you. I'm just using it as an example, right? But what I'm saying, yeah, is that if 1,500 people bought this, and now you've tasted it, or you can see what it does, who thinks I'm talking? Who does not agree with me? This will be interesting, though. Because I could be wrong as well. It's opinion, right? I haven't got any facts to base it on. I mean, I'm basing it on my fact and what I do. Influencers are big. Influencers are big. But once you know what you're getting, right? Once you are now... If you buy a ticket to watch a movie because... all right, here's another one, right? Here's another one, okay? Let's say, let me give you an example of a movie. Let me give you an example. I love the Transformers, okay? I love the Transformers, right? No, that's a bad example. Let's say, let's just stick with Arnold Schwarzenegger, okay? He does another Terminator film, and you go to watch it, right? If, though, when you're watching the movie, halfway through, you're like, this is absolute shit. I've paid $20, I'm here with my popcorn, and this movie is absolutely shit. A lot of people, or some people, would walk out and leave. So you might have bought it on the influence of the title, the teaser trailer, or the trailer, or who else is in the movie. But you can either see it through and then tell everyone, do not watch that movie, and you will not watch it on when it's on you know, on demand or whatever. You will never watch it again. Or you could leave, right? Toby, I'm not saying you never said that. You've got to understand, right, when people have conversations, right, yeah, and look, right, I can tell, right, yeah, that, like, you know, you're going to be, I know what you're saying, right, influencers are very, very, like, hold on, I better read the comments, because otherwise I'm going to be, get myself mixed up here. So people are meant to be really smart, blah, 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 why they trust her. No, but the point I'm making, right, is that there are going to be developers and designers that have started using Etch or Breakdance or Bricks or Elementor or Gutenberg or standard WordPress, whatever. When you're on that journey, you'll make a decision and you will then decide. Sorry, the microphone's, I think I've moved the microphone in the wrong place then. You can then make a decision whether you want to continue to use Elementor, continue to use Etch, continue to use bricks. So it's not about, I mean, I probably used the wrong word there. It's not that they are clever or not. It's about people can make their own mind up. And I'm pretty sure that anyone that's signed up to use Etch, if they like it, they'll run with it. If they like the development and the roadmap, they'll run with it. If any don't like it or they find it's too complex, which is the point some people have been making, and I saw a post, if some people don't get on board with it because they don't like the interface, they don't like the tutorials, they don't like the fact that you can't now just rely on a drag and drop builder interface and you have to now think about HTML and CSS and some other bits. If they don't like it, they can use something else. It's like plugins. There are so many plugins out there for doing one thing, right? I'm trying to think of a good example and I can't at the moment. Membership. There's so many membership plugins. And you might, no, not membership, events. Tons and tons of event plugins, right? And someone might say, Ferdy might do a video and he uses this. And Reno uses this. And Paul uses the same one. That's 3 people using the same events plugin. I go and use it. I don't like it. The settings, the way it works, it's too complex. It messes me up. I can either stick with it and hope I work it out, or you go and shift to something else. So whether there is influence everywhere you go, whether it's to do with sex, religion, life, clothes, food, TV, music, WordPress, internet, emails, everything you do, the stuff you stick on your wall, your furniture, there's influence everywhere. So we are influenced. In fact, your parents, your family, everyone somewhere influences you, right? Everyone somewhere influences you. But at some point, you can make that decision over, do I stick with it or do I deviate? And I think that if people use, look, you could use Elementor and go, I can't customize enough. Go to something else. You go to Elementor. I don't like the class system. Go and use bricks. Or maybe you go to bricks and you go, oh, the class system scares me. Go back to Elementor or Divi. Or maybe you just don't like them because, oh, I don't like Elementor. Oh, too many people use it. And you go over to Breakdance because you believe the hype that it saves you using plugins. Their marketing hype is bullshit, by the way, all right? It's real bullshit. The way they go, oh, this saves you $1,000 when they don't point out that all the stuff where you might have used a plugin, you could have used a code snippet. They kind of like, they're like, oh, you know, their marketing is crap. And I do think there's going to be some people who go to Etch, realize it's too complex, and then they'll back out. That's okay. Or there may be some people that are like, I've wanted to get dirty with coding. You know, I want to be able to lick my hands and get dirty with it. And then they can go and do that. They can go and do that. And I just think that, like, it's just, so the point I'm making, Toby, right, is that I've seen some posts where people are trying to create drama just for likes, for no good reason. And I feel like, why? Why is it like, why are we going back into the same wheel of disfortune? You know, why do we have to care or get uptight about whether someone is using this page builder or not? I just say, like, use what you want to use. Eat what you want to use, right? Just do what you want to do, okay? That's all you got to do. You are right, Ruadari. I've got your name wrong, probably. You know, I mean, it's like when Coke Zero came out. I remember when it first came out, a lot of people bought it because they were being told everywhere, this is so much better for you, adverts, all of this shit. And they were like, I don't like it. Then went back to normal Coke. Do you know what I mean? So there's always going to be Rory, thank you. Sorry, I was worried I was going to get it completely wrong then. Yeah, by the way, and look, here's a really good point, right? Font clamp, right? Some people will like what I do. Some people will like what Toby does. Some people will like what someone else has done. Someone might use an online tool. And I just say that just because I create something doesn't mean it's the best. You know, you go and make your own decision on your own mind up over what you want to use. Is the sound coming? By the way, can anyone just confirm? Because when I look at OBS, because I have my camera and my microphone going through OBS, and then I stream from OBS to YouTube. But when I'm looking at the screen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is it in sync? Because on here, it doesn't look like it's. This always buggers me up, right? When I'm recording, it's not in sync. My mouth moves a second after I'm speaking. But when I edit my videos, everything's okay. Toby, do you ever get that problem? So when you're recording, it looks like it's not in sync when you talk and your lips. And then when you look back at your recorded footage, it's all okay. I hate that. Because I'm like, 1, 2, and I keep, and I'm like, it's I. And then you have to go, pa, pa, pa. And you're trying to match it with, and you're trying to match the click noise to your teeth. And then you get it wrong, kind of thing. Yeah, do you know what? It's a weird one, right? But then when you actually play back your actual footage, because you're now going to edit it, it's all in sync. And I always go, this always gets me, like, you know, it's always a pain, because then you start to have paranoia and you doubt yourself. But I just feel like, you know what? I don't care what page builder anyone uses. I don't care if you use WordPress. I don't care if you build Dreamweaver, Wix, Squarespace, whatever brand new app you found on AppSumo. I don't care. I don't even care what hosting you got. I don't care what email provider you use. I don't care if you got a Mac or a Windows. I don't care if you got an iPhone or an Android or whatever you got. I don't care. I don't care what microphone you use. I don't care what webcam you use. I don't care what clothes you wear. I don't care what drink you use or what lighting, what car you drive, who you're married to, what kind of life you have, what food you eat. I don't care, because you will go with what you want to go with. And if you've been influenced to use something, then that's on you. That's on you. Because Kevin can't make you buy it. I can't make you buy Elemental. George can't make you buy Divi. You made that decision. You might have been led by us, but then once you've made it, you then decide if you want to continue it or not. Yeah, by the way, Flipping Son, if you go to YouTube channel, I think that video came out 3 weeks ago, I think it was. 3 weeks ago, something like that. I can't remember, something like that. Yeah, something like that. Richard, I bought bricks because of a couple of videos from Paul and others and stuck with it. I also bought 5 licensed deal of frames in the ACS, Web's Forms, and a few others because of influencer videos. Stuck with most, but let ACS and frames go because I didn't need it. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, right? So you will be led and you trust the people, which is why I don't like to do too many sponsored videos. Okay? I am very conscious that if I am paid to promote, Hostinger have approached me a lot. All right? Hostinger are always asking me, and they are willing to pay a lot of money for me to do videos where I am sponsored by Hostinger or I promote their hosting services. I have never done a single video where I am sponsored or supporting Hostinger. Why? Because I don't use their product. I don't really like it. I'm aware of some issues with it, and it's just not for me. So I don't want to do a video where I say I'm sponsored by them, and then people go, "Oh, Imran uses it, so we should too." I like to be very transparent about it, but I totally get that some of the stuff we put out or others have put out will help you make that decision. But like you just said, Richard, absolutely true. You bought it, you used it, and then you've made a decision at some point that actually, do I really need it? Can I go and use something else? Am I really bothered? And that is life. That is life. We are influenced. Our first form of influence is our parents or family with what we do and eat and drink and all of that and pray or everything, right? And then as we get older, our influences change. Friends, TV, music, relationships, things happen. And then we deviate and deviate and deviate even more until when we look back at what our parents influenced us, we're like, oh, why did I do that? Why did I eat that? Why did I believe in this? We shift sometimes. Not always, but we do sometimes. And that's life. And that is life. And I just think that people that are making a big deal out of who's using Etch, who's using Elementor, who's using Advanced Thema, who's using Toby's Bont Clamp, whoever's using whatever, right? It's no different to... And this all goes back to what I said about 1990. Nike Air Jordan. We were influenced to go and get Nike Air Jordans. I never had a Nike Air Jordan. I've never ever in my life owned a Nike Air Jordan. Did you know this? So what I'm talking about contradicts, but a lot of people were influenced, right? But then, basically, so what? You want to spend money on it, do what you want on it. If you want to do what you want, do what you want with it. Program Box Digital, can you show us some sites you've been working on? I have done. If you look back on videos, I have done in the past, and they're on our website as well, and you can see examples. Lopetiki. Loptiki. What would be some hosting providers which you prefer to use these days? Look, Elemental Cloud Hosting's good. SiteGround is good. I don't like to name. I've just named some, but I feel like you need to make your own mind up over what you want to use. I like SiteGround. Some people don't. They find it too expensive. Fine, find something else, right? What you need to do is look at the features. Do the features tick what you need? If not, find something else. Right? Because just because I like to use SiteGround, fantastic tech support, expensive, but you're getting good shit. I'm happy with it. Yeah, Toby, I think Hostinger know that, but you know what? It's like I just like the WebP converter tool, Pix Refiner, okay? A lot of people that use Hostinger have had issues with it because Hostinger limits how much you can read and write files, so the whole WebP conversion. I see that as a limitation. Well, here's the thing, John, right? With the limited inodes, you just have to be careful how many sites you have on shared server and how many excess plugins or stuff you have loaded up, as long as you keep purging the server, you know, or sometimes ask them to purge the OP cache, your inodes are okay. Progbox says, I've got 30 odd sites on a semi-dedicated server, £20 per month, reaching capacity, but it's serving well. Yeah, that's fine. And now either buy another server or use something else. So I am now, I think I've been live for quite a while, and what I've talked about in today's live chat is a very heated subject. It's a very heated topic. There is no right or wrong answer. Are we being misled by other people? You could argue that. Do we have choice? You could argue that. Are we just going to use what someone tells us and not change our mind later? We could say that. But I think when you look at life, it happens all the time. And if people realize that they invested into something that they've now realized is not right for them, change your mind or don't use it again. It's like when you go on holiday. How many of you really wanted to go somewhere? In fact, let's open this up to everyone, right? How many of you really wanted to go somewhere, like holiday, and when you got there, you were like, I'm never going to go there again? How many of you have done that? How many? I'd love to know this, right? I'm trying to think. So I'm going to be honest here, actually. Yeah, Edinburgh. I really wanted to go to Edinburgh for years and 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 years. Everyone said it was brilliant. I went to Edinburgh. I was there for 3 days. I didn't really like it. Yeah, it had a few bits here and there, but you know what? Every shop in Edinburgh sells the same thing. Every single shop had nearly the same thing. The same mugs, the same everything, right? And everything was so laid out. So you want to go see the castle, you got to go here. You want to go and see something else, you got to go over here. And you're basically just walking, trampsing around. How many of you have been on holiday and you kind of like, I'm never going to go there again. I won't even recommend it to anyone. Right? Yeah, I know, George. I went to Edinburgh last year. But, go on. Tell me. Toby, name a holiday you've been on that you really wanted to go to. You really wanted to go to, right? I'm actually going to Jersey in the end of July. So the Channel Island, Jersey. Which for anyone who doesn't know, is just northwest of France, very close to France. I'm going there end of July. I'm going for 4.5 days, 4 days and a bit. Name a holiday you went on that you really were looking forward to, and then when you got there, you realized, I don't like it. I don't like it. You were influenced by celebrities and what people and holiday programs and what your friends say. But when you got there, you realized this is shit. So let's see what some people have said, though. Prince, Conadu, holiday. Come on, Pickstar. Tell me about a holiday you really wanted to go to, but when you got there, you realized it's shit and you never want to come here again. Come on, let's name some. Karen says Melbourne. Never been Melbourne. Tell me, in fact, tell me why. Name a place and tell me why. So with me, Edinburgh was because everything was spaced out. Every shop was the same. A lot of the people there, I don't think were very nice. I don't think a lot of the people there were very nice to each other or anything. Everyone was grumbly and miserable. I'm really sorry if you're Scottish or you're from Edinburgh. I did not rate it at all. At all. And I've been wanting to go there for a long time. Okay. So George says, we've been having earthquakes in Cyprus this year, but you live in Cyprus. So it's got to be a holiday you've gone to. Or maybe you went to somewhere in Cyprus you really wanted to go to and there was an earthquake kind of thing. Toby's not been on a holiday in 5 years. Yeah, I mean, my holiday to Edinburgh was my first holiday in 14 years. I had to think about that then. 14 years. First holiday in 14 years. Progbox, I live on holiday in Thailand for a year, partly thanks to your videos. Hey? I've never said go to Thailand. Flippinson, we were talking about this the other day. Most cities you really need to pick out what you want to do before you go. I went to Tokyo, wasn't for me. Then Osaka was brilliant. Yeah, I mean, Hong Kong. Oh my God. I went to Hong Kong in 2010. I was super excited. I got there. I was so disappointed with Hong Kong. I cannot tell you how disappointed I was with Hong Kong. With everything I read, with what people show and say, I was so disappointed. But maybe it's just me. But anyway, that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with Hong Kong or Edinburgh, by the way, or Melbourne or Cyprus. But yeah, Tokyo. I would love to go Tokyo, you know? And maybe you were influenced to go Tokyo. But then when you get there, you're like, it's not really what it's made out to be. Richard was Los Angeles, full of smog and the water was too cold to swim in. Wow. Trending videos, come to India. Nah, I'm all right. I'm all right. I've got loads. I mean, look, why would I want to go to India? What am I going to get in India that I can't get when I go to my takeaway? What am I going to get in India? Tell me what I'm going to get in India. Nothing against India, by the way. Pigstar, Gran Canaria. Or Gran Canary. Gran Canaria, isn't it? Too many big mamas trying to rip you off at the beach promenade. Ooh, big mamas. Hold on, Pigstar. What's going on here? Too many big mamas trying to rip you off. Which bit of the promenade were you on? Pigstar, Tokyo's very crowded. Trending videos, love and support. Ah, yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Do you know something, right? Okay, I'm going to end in a moment, but I've got a question here for other people who do videos. What I find funny, right, is like I can walk around where I live and not once has anyone stopped me to go, Imran, I watch your videos. No one's ever done that to me here. Has it ever happened to you, Toby, with where you live? And I don't mean friends and family. That's different. Or maybe someone, I'm talking about complete strangers. Has anyone ever stopped you? Hey, Sergio, has anyone ever stopped you? Yeah, I mean, I've left the door open, by the way, so that's why we've got light. So that's my French doors leading out into my... So I can step out into my garden and there's an area to sit with the cats, cattery area down here if I want. But has that ever happened where you walk around, Toby, and a stranger in your area has gone, Toby, I love your videos. It's never happened to me yet. I wonder if it happens to Ferdy or Paul or Reno. I do wonder. I feel like that's a question that needs to be answered. Like Kevin, right? So I don't mean people who know you and know about your videos, because that's a bit different. Like my friends, like my son's friends who are like 10 years old, some of them watch my videos. I don't know why the fuck they do that, because I'm like, they don't have anything to do with WordPress. And I think some of their parents watch my videos. But I'm talking about complete strangers. Do you know what, Timo? I don't think it would happen to me at WordCamp. I don't think it would. And I worried it if I ever go to WordCamp, I think some people would actually not like me. Oh, there's that Imran guy who does Elementor videos. You know, like GoDaddy would probably approach me. What did you say about GoDaddy? Huh? What's your mummy got to do with this? You know, I don't think they'd be very happy with me. Or Hostinger. There's that fucker Imran. You know, what the fuck did you say about Hostinger, huh, you fucker? I fucking shove this up your fucking nose. You know, what would they do? I don't think there would be a lot of people. And I'll tell you why, right? There's a lot of podcasters out there that do WordPress that have never approached me. And I'm not asking to be approached, but I think a lot of people don't like the fact that I do either elemental videos or the style or the way I present and do things. I feel like there's two. All right, let me be fucking controversial now, right? There's too many WordPress podcasters out there. And if you're one of them, fuck you, because I don't care. This is what I think, so fucking go with it. But there's too many WordPress podcasters out there that are yes people. They will go with whatever Automatic or Matt Mullenweg or WordPress says or does. They will not challenge. They will just repeat the rhetoric. They will just go with, so what's happening in WordPress these days? And what does this plugin do? And this is what you could use. And we've been sponsored by X, so we will promote them. They are just yes fuckers. So when they go to WordCamp, they walk around holding hands. Yay! We're at WordCamp. Woo! You're the same people. Hey, let's get a selfie. The same fucking people. Tell me what the fuck they have achieved. Tell me what they have done. A lot of them. Hey, I've done a video on this and we're going to talk about WordPress and we're going to get a selfie and I'm at WordCamp again. I'm at Europe. I'm at US. I'm at Thailand. Right? You know, look at me. You know, what the fuck? What the fuck? They're just yes people. And they will never speak to real people, real developers, real designers, people that walk the walk, who know how to get clients, that work with clients, that solve problems. You know why? Because we show them up. We don't talk the talk. We walk the fucking walk. We are real people. We're the people that should be at the WordCamps. We're the people that should be there. But no, they won't come to us. You know why? Because they want the yes people. The fuckers that just go, woo! Automatic! Matt Mullenweg! So many podcasters, and I'm putting it on now here. Podcasters, right? Loads of them. They just fucking suck each other's asses all day. Anyway, I need to check the comments because I feel like I went overboard there. I went massively overboard, innit? Massively overboard. Massive. Jungle is massive. Wicked are wicked. There's a reason, Toby. I just saw your comment earlier, right? There's a reason why I don't go to meetups. I get a lot of negativity from a lot of people about the fact that I use Elementor, or why did you create a code snippet when there's a plugin out there already? Fuck off, I say to them, right? If I want to create a code snippet, I'll create a code snippet. Or because when the whole automatic WP Engine drama kicked off, I tried to see both sides of the argument, but people didn't like it that I questioned what Matt Mullenweg and Automatic were doing. A lot of people didn't like that. And they couldn't understand why I wasn't defending WP Engine. I was trying to show you two sides of the coin. But they don't like that, right? And I find that if I go to meetups and stuff or WordCamps, I'm just going to get a load of shit. And I'm telling you now, the way I am here now is how I am in real life. This morning, I went to my son's school because someone's parent said something to my son and they had no fucking right to say that. Something happened with their son and another pupil. There was a bit of a disagreement. My son happened to be there as well. And they went and had a go at my son after school. I went in and I've made a point to the teachers and everything. Sort this fucking out. And if that parent wants to speak to me, they know where the fuck I am. And we can talk it out. But in real life, if I was at a meetup and I was at a WordCamp and any of these wonderful podcasters were like, oh, you use Elementor, or you do this, or you said that, and you believe that, and you influence this, I would quite happily tell them to fuck off. Because that's the kind of person I am. Right? I wear my heart on my sleeve, right? If I like you, I like you. If I love you, I love you. If I don't like you, I'm not going to pretend to like you if I don't like you. And like a lot of these yes people, I am not going to go, oh, I love your product, do you want to sponsor me or I sponsor you? And you know, I want to work with you. And will you be a guest on my podcast if I'm a guest on your podcast? And can we work together and dance around a maypole? Hey, can we start kissing each other? No, I'm not into that. Which is why I don't sell out. Hostinger, if you're watching, I have no intention of doing a video for you, right? Loads of plugin companies and others contact me. I have no intention. Don't stop it. I'm not bothered. I don't care what you're going to offer. I don't care. I will promote or use what I believe in, and I might promote them because I want to help the company out, or because I use it and I want people to know about it. But what I won't do is go along this journey with people that have hidden agendas. I will say that word again. Hidden agendas. Agendas spelt with a Z. Agendas. In fact, AGENDUZ. Does. Agendas. In fact, it's double Z. No, triple Z. AGENDU triple Z. Agendas. That's what they got. Right? That is what they've got. Okay? And that's probably the reason why you won't see me at... I mean, like, look, okay, there's a London meetup. A few times I have considered going there, but you know what? I don't think a lot of people there are going to be my kind of people. They're not going to get it. They're going to be either too uptight, too defensive. You can't say that. You can't do this. How dare you use this? How dare you do that? No, 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 no. Because some people, right, have tunnel vision. Again, the whole topic today has been very heated, but it's been about page builders, right? Some people hate Elemental, so they use bricks. I'm not saying everyone who uses bricks hates Elemental, but just some people, right? Just because they hate Elemental. Some people hate Divi because they love Elemental. Some people hate Coke because they like Pepsi. Why is it? Okay. And I've always used iPhone. Well, since the Nokia days and all of that, right? I use iPhone, okay? I have nothing against Samsung. I have nothing against Android users, right? And I hardly ever hear people who have iPhones criticize Android users. I hardly ever. But if you go to an Android user and you mention iPhone, the iPhones are fucking shit. Why? What's your problem? Right? Tunnel vision. Because they want to believe that what they use is the best and you're not allowed to have choice. It's like Windows and Mac, right? People that use Mac very rarely criticize Windows. If they find out you've got a Windows machine, they don't say to you, what are you using Windows for? No. You want to use Windows? Fine. But you go to a Windows user and they find out that you're using a Mac. Oh, you're an Apple fanboy. Oh, I bet you got an iPad. Oh, I bet you got an iPhone. Oh, Apple fanboy. What's the problem? It's choice. But again, it's tunnel vision. Because you become so, like, inbred into your own product and what you want to use. You won't accept that your people are allowed to use other stuff. Kind of thing. Where do you live, Dennis? Maybe we should, no, I'm joking. I always do. I tell you one thing I've wanted to do. I don't know how many people in the Elemental forum group live in Leicester or Syston. I don't know how many people that follow the Web Squadron channel are in Leicester or Syston. I mean, yeah, you can go to Google Analytics and independent analytics, you can see the city, but I don't know. So if anyone out there actually does live in Leicester or Syston, and you one day want to do a round table podcast live chat, we could do that. Really talk about clients, life, WordPress, sex, relationships, whatever you want to talk about. Probably not that. We'll stick to WordPress. We'll stick to WordPress, right? If you want to do that, let me know. Reach out to me. But I'm not a yes man. I'm not a yes man. I was known as the enigmatic maverick. I nearly said it wrong then. I was known as the enigmatic maverick when I worked in the NHS. I did things the way I want to did them. I don't care what the bosses say. If I know there's a better way of doing it, I will prove it and I will get it done. I don't like to bend over or kiss ass or follow a false way of doing things because we all want to, you know, just go along. But anyway, I do get really annoyed because there's a lot of podcasts out there, a lot of promos, a lot of stuff where I watch a bit or I've got it in the background and it might be an hour long and I'm working and I just let it go. And I literally feel like at no point did I find anything in that podcast worth my time. Like, sometimes they just regurgitate what's already on the web, like an article or a post, or do you know what? Shall I tell you something, right? Okay. Shall I tell you something, right? You know when the Matt Mullenweg drama kicked off, right? Okay. How many people interviewed him? I offered to interview him and he agreed on 3 occasions. And then when I said, right, let's get the date booked in, he kept backing out. He wouldn't agree a date. How many times did he do exclusive interviews? Exclusive. And I know T3, he grilled a little bit, but how many of those exclusive interviews really challenged him? Come on, have a think about this. How many of them really challenged him? Really did. Come on. None of them did. They might say, but what about this and what about that? And then they moved on to another question. It reminds me of news reporters when they're grilling politicians. They ask a question, the politician sidesteps or does not answer the question because they have a script in their head for what they're going to talk about, or they talk because they want to wind down the time because all of these interviews have limited time and they want to just move on to something else. So they haven't answered the question, and what does a news reporter do? They move on to a different question. If I was interviewing you and I say to you, what about X? Or why have you done this? And you sidestep or you don't answer it, I have a fucking law degree. I will give you the 3rd degree and I will cross-examine you until you answer the fucking question. Don't sidestep me. Don't spin it. Don't give me a false answer. Don't try to deviate. No, I asked a question. I want the question answered. Answer the question. I want the truth. I can handle the truth. To chat. James Acaster. He's a brilliant comedian. But that's what I find. That's what I found with the whole Matt Mullenweg. Every time there was a new interview, right? I'd watch it and I'd literally be like, T3, he did a little bit, but even then he held back. All of them hold back. All of them are too accepting of what they've been told. And so many times when Matt does his answers, right? They miss the opportunity to challenge it. I'm literally, no. He's just said something. Challenge him on that. No. And that's the problem. That's the problem I find with a lot of things and a lot of people. I was meant to stop this 29 minutes ago. I am going to go now. All right, everyone. I've got to go do some stuff because it's, I need to get on with some stuff. In fact, I have got a client where I've given them the proposal and I don't think they're happy with the price. But hey, take out what you don't like. That's my price. I've even said to them, though, like they want to redo the meta descriptions on all of their pages. And I've made clear to them, if you tell me what your new title and descriptions are and how we're going to fit it into the content, the cost is £360 per page. If I have to do it, it's $480. So take your pick per page. Because if you're going to say, here's your keyword, well, where do you want that? You got a page with 5 different text editors. Where do you want it to go? Don't just say your keyword is, let's go for landscaper or evergreen landscaper. Where do you want that to fit within your content? If you tell me 360 and I sort it out, if you want me to work it out and fit it in and maybe adjust the layout because maybe the text is now longer or the image doesn't work, $480. Give them the option. You don't like it? Well, I gave you the option. And you don't have to work with me. I do not chase. I don't chase. My income is not solely determined by web design. So if that client decides to go elsewhere, I don't care. I'm not desperate. And the minute you stop being desperate and you stop chasing, you will get back more control, more satisfaction, and it will make real businesses know, hey, they're actually like me. Because you know what? Businesses that are in it for the long game, they don't like to be taken for a ride either. If they have a supplier or whatever, and they know what they want and what they're going to get paid or how they do it, they'll respect you for it. So don't chase. All right, everyone, I'm going to jump off now. I hope you enjoyed today's live chat. It's been a bit heated. Mainly, that's my fault. I respect everyone's view. I hope you take something out of it. But I would love to see a lot of the drama just end. Because there's no need for the drama. Even though I've kind of gone on about how much so many podcasters... What do? Not a lot. Take care, everyone. See you soon. Bye. Bye, Donnell. Donnell was here from the start. Donnell, I've taken up loads of your time. Take care, Donnell.